Peace, everybody. What's up? It's Truth Tuesday with your host, Hakeem L. Here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. Man, this is the second show of the year, right? There's so much going on. I can't keep up sometimes. So I like, okay, today is the 11th. So yeah, second show of the year. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me fix this camera here. Fix my camera. Last week was interesting, man. A lot of challenges jumped at me, and I had to learn how to be patient and just work through things. To work, things are gonna come at you, and they're gonna look bad. You're gonna feel like it's too much, or you might even feel like you have bad luck or something. Or like things were going on last week, and someone said, "Yeah, this might be. Hope this is not an indication what this year is gonna be." And I was like, "Oh no, we're not speaking that. We are not speaking that. Because if we claim ourselves to be the authority or to have dominion in your life, then that's just a little bump in the road. Some type of challenge that you might run into. You see, so." This week was a lot different than last week, but it just looked a little shaky. It looked a little stormy. Just like when Peter wanted to walk on water and Christ said, "Yeah, come on, do it." And he started to do it, and then it started to look, he looked at a storm. What was the storm? The storm was of his mind, his doubt, his fear. That possibly after he had already started walking and was doing it, he retracted his thoughts. He went back to his devilish thinking, his lower form of thinking, that it was impossible to walk on water. See, that's what happens when things come at you and they're challenging. You start to doubt. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should wait. Maybe let me go back to what I'm familiar with. And you start to backpedal. You start to go back to where you feel comfortable, or you think you're comfortable. No, you're not comfortable there, because that's the whole reason why you wanted to walk on water, because you wanted to do something greater. So you wasn't comfortable there. It was just you're familiar with that uncomfortableness there. You know that devil. So you want to go back to that devil and serve that devil. The devil of doing the same things that you did before, not growing, not renewing your mind, not becoming better. That's the devil. There's no devil with horns red waiting down in hell, waiting to burn you forever. No. You will burn. Listen carefully. You will burn as long as you think you will burn. You will fail. You will have problems as long as you believe in those problems. That's hell. You will have no money. You will be broke as long as you believe that is your lot in life. When you start claiming, I'm broke, I don't have anything, that's hell. All of that's hell. There's no, when you die, this body ceases to exist or function, that you're going to go and burn forever. No, you burning right now, some of you, with these hellish ideas of self-doubt and fear. And I want to be thankful for the coaching session I received last year about, hey, people don't want to be preached to, and the guy's sounding too preachy, and I want to thank you for saying that, because I'm gonna raise the level. I'm gonna take the preaching to a whole nother level. See, that was a devilish idea. Stop trying to wanting me to slow down on my message. I know what my message is. I know the dream and the visions that I've been given. For me to walk away from that and betray that, I will never be satisfied. And I hope he's watching. I will never be satisfied. To hell with getting thousands and thousands of followers. What is that scripture that say you could have all of these things, but if you don't have love, you just empty? I know I'm not quoting that scripture correctly. If someone can find it, put it in the chat. I'll read it. We going to the Bible today, first of all. I know my title of the show says why your passport applications get rejected, and that's because, people are sending me these letters that they're getting, and they don't know how to beat the letters. But my people that's my people that work with me, my teammates that are in the meetings with me, they don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, these letters. Because they have access to ask me about the letters, and I tell them how to beat it. But when you want to take the shortcuts, you want to, get this a little here, a little there, a little seasoning there, a little seasoning there, or go over there, get your little false information over there, you're going to have these problems. So, I'll talk about that later. But back to what I was saying. Back to what I was telling you. Stop allowing the devilish thoughts of your mind to keep you from your vision. There's no one stopping you. There's no one getting in your way. Just like the storm of what Peter saw, it wasn't really in his way. He was off in a distance somewhere. It was off in the distance of his mind. These ideas, these false illusions you give yourself are off in the distance of your thoughts. They're in your head. And you're creating barriers for yourself so that you can have an excuse to go back and watch TV. Have an excuse to be poor. So you can blame it on someone else. But here, if you're going to come here and you're going to listen to me, I'm not going to allow you to have any excuses. I'm not going to let you do that to yourself because I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you that the only enemy, the only devil you got going on that's messing with you is you. You. Go look in the mirror. Look at him. Look at that person. That's you. That's your problem. That's your hindrance. But that same person you see in the mirror could be your greatest savior. That's what's so powerful about you. You go look at yourself in the mirror and change the conversation in your head to I am prosperous. I am loving. I am a great speaker. I am whatever it is you want to be. You say, I am, and you will become that. The moment you utter those words, you have transformed yourself into whatever power you spoke. You don't need me. You don't need anyone else to give you encouragement because at the end of the day, in reality, people only give you encouragement here and there. And a lot of the people that's giving you encouragement are really haters. Oh yeah, people that come in. Oh man, I love you, man. You doing this and you doing that. You the truth. You the truth. You the truth. Soon as something go down, they're gonna be talking about you. So don't let that stuff get to your head. Keep walking in your true purpose. You got an idea, go with it. I had the privilege of being at my good friend Thomas and his wife's house over the weekend. We had dinner there. And he talked about his wife has got this great business she's getting into. And I was so appreciative to the fact that they wanted to share their idea with me to see what I thought of it. That they respect me that much that they would ask me. And And I just want to thank you. If they're listening, thank you for trusting my ideas. But they probably would never trust my ideas if I wasn't living this life and living by example, showing them what you can do when you put forth the first steps of faith into yourself. When you believe in yourself. And I'm going to tell you, it wasn't easy for me to start believing in myself because I grew up with a lot of negativity. And some of it was unintentional negativity from relatives, they said things to discourage me, but they thought they were helping me. And that's how some of you are, having y'all in houses where people are not encouraging you. Probably they think they're encouraging you, but they're not. Because the words they're speaking is going against the very spirit of where you want to be. You see? The things that you have, the burning desires that are going on inside of you in the pit of your stomach, that you wake up and you're thinking about it and you're excited about it. And as soon as you tell them, they kill that excitement. They don't know any better. Don't be upset with them. Just stop telling them your business. Stop telling them your goals. Stop telling them your aspirations. Keep it to yourself. It's for you. You're in your secret place between you and God. That's your mission. That's your calling. And you cannot get away from your calling. Yes, people die and don't fulfill their calling, but doesn't mean that they got away from it. No. They coming back, and they're gonna keep doing this thing over and over until they get that calling out of them. So if you got a calling, why waste time? Why don't you go ahead and do it now? Because you're gonna come back and have to do it again. The lessons, the things you gotta take care of in this physical life that you know you need to take care of, get it done now. Because you could grow old, you could pass away or get sick, whatever. You're gonna go boom in the twinkling of an eye, wake back up and you're gonna forget about everything. You gotta start from scratch. Yeah. that's the resurrection. The Bible talks about a couple of resurrections. Resurrection to judgment and a resurrection to everlasting life. Or everlasting higher consciousness. Man, there's some good stuff I'm drinking. Man, it's bringing some stuff out of me. The ancestors is coming through tonight. This is what I'm drinking tonight, right? Some new stuff I picked up. Zacapa, Ron Zacapa. Sistema Solara 23. It's good. Well, I had to graduate. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to come back and got to do it all over again. So you might as well get it done now. Work on those things you say you want to do. Whether it be you just want to be a good husband, a good wife. You want to find a good husband, find a good wife. You just want to be a better father, better mother. You want to start a business and you want to be successful at it, whatever it is. Now, when my friend Thomas told me what he wanted to do, I'm not going to put it on the air because y'all try to steal it. But I'll tell you, it's a great idea. And I'm going to tell you, anything is a great idea if it came from inspiration. If it woke you up at night, if it just came to you, hey, this is what I do, and you got that excitement that you can't describe, that's a good idea. And don't let anyone shake your faith. You see, Christ had a good idea. He came down to show us how to survive haters. Yeah, I know the story. Typical theology says he died for our sins because we're so messed up. We all sinful. BS. No, he came to show you how to be Christ, to be the example. That's why he said you could do greater things than he. He was just here to say, this is this. I'm just touching the surface. You're gonna go further. You see, you're gonna go further if you follow the example of what he taught. What did he teach? What did he teach? Let's go to Luke chapter 22. Chapter 22. This is where Judas plays him, he betrays him, and then this is right before the whole fiasco of the lies. And I'm going to read this and then I'm going to break this down and understand what's going on here. And you're dealing with the same issues in your life. This is almost identical to what you're going through. I know the theologists or whoever try to tell you you're not Christ, you're just this lower sinner, you're a wretched being, and all this. I'm telling you, stop listening to that lies. Just like I tell y'all to stop listening to these people lying about discharge and equity and all these other scams they got going on in this so-called conscious unconscious community, or these so-called woke but zombies type individuals. Okay. Why do I call people them zombies? Because zombies, all they do is look to eat and devour people. And spiritually, these people are zombies. They just want to take from you, take your money, and give you nothing in return and leave you broken. But here, let me go on. Let me share the screen real quick. Share. Window, Chrome tab, Luke 22. There we go. All right. Let's make it whole. All right. Here we go. So let me see where I want to start. I'm not going to read the whole. Okay, let's start here. Jesus prays on the Mount Olives. Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives. So this was a regular thing for him. As usual. They said as usual. And his disciples followed him. On reaching the place, he said to them, pray that you will not fall into temptation. So Christ said to them, pray that you will not fall into temptation. What is that? What temptation is he talking about? The temptations of self-doubt, of not having faith, of not believing that they are going to do more than what Christ is doing at that time. Don't fall into the temptation of doubt and fear. He withdrew about a stone's throw beyond them, knelt down and prayed. Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. So he know he's about to go through some stuff, some things, some a real situation. It was about to get real. So he prayed, hey, if it's your will, take this from me. But but instead, the Father sent him what? An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. What was this angel? What is the esoterical meaning of this angel? See, when you're going through or about to go through, or you're going to go through a hard time, you got to get down and get into meditation and prayer. And from that, guess what's going to happen? An angel is going to come. The higher consciousness, the higher meanings, the higher understanding is going to come and give you the answer and give you the strength to walk through. Yes, some of y'all got to walk through these trials in order to get to the other side of peace and prosperity. You talk to anybody who's doing very good, wealthy, whatever, they went through some stuff. My friend and his wife, they're doing excellent. They're doing well. But they went through some stuff to get there. They didn't just get that. They went through trials and tribulations. But they remain faithful to each other, and here they are living a great life. You see? And it's the same for you. Right now, you're going through some things, and the only reason why you're going through these things, because you have to learn something. You haven't learned it. That's just a process to make you better. You have to stop looking at them as problems and look at them as a process. It's teaching you something so that you can use that very lesson in the next lesson that you will encounter. Everything you go through is preparation for the next lesson. You never stop learning. You never stop having situations pop up. You never have, it's always going to be a new devil popping up in your mind to challenge you. That's how you get through. You got to know, hey, wait a minute. This is just another illusionary tactic to distract me. Let me keep going. And being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. So he really was into this meditation, into this prayer. He was focused. Are you focused? Or are you just dibbling and dabbling? Because there's no way he could be able to go through what he was about to go through if he did not do this. And not, he didn't wait to the up to the hour to do this. He has been doing this all the time, because it right in the beginning it says Jesus went out as usual to the Mount of Olives. This was a regular thing. So you have to make it a practice to get into meditations and prayer about staying focused on your goals. See, we'll sit there and binge watch Netflix or one of them other streaming services. See, they made it real easy for us to be distracted. See, before you had to wait every week for an episode. Now you can watch 10 episodes in one night if you're not paying attention. And that's 10 episodes you watch that took you away from your promise. Yeah. Can't get that time back. That's 10 episodes that you watched that kept you from being focused. You know how that is. I've done that before. You watch something so much and then I feel empty. All I got was this visual stimulation, audio stimulation that didn't put any money in my pocket. All it did was make whoever made that show richer. See, we have to flip that switch and say, I want to be spending most of my time on something that's putting money in my pocket or towards the goals I say I want. We have to do what Christ said. We got to go to the Mount of Olives as usual. The Mount of Olives of prayer and concentration, meditation, focus, dedication, consistency. That's the Mount of Olives. Right? When he rose from prayer and went back to the disciples, he found them asleep, exhausted from sorrow. Why are you sleeping? He said he found them sleeping. They was exhausted from sorrow. They was in despair. What? That means they really didn't understand what was about to go down. They didn't know that, yeah, it looked bad what he was about to go through, that he was going to come on the other side a winner. Are you doing that with the things, you running into challenges? You know that what you're about to face tomorrow is going to be tough. But if you get through that day, it's going to be better. Are you seeing it that way? Or are you seeing, oh man, this is difficult. It's too much. And then you fall asleep from your sorrow, from your fear. And you forget about the goals and you put them off. As I said earlier, the mental the thing that you're dealing with most is mental battles. The intangible, the untouchable, your thoughts. That's the battle that you're having. He asked him, get up and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. So he's telling him, get up, get back into meditation, get back into prayer so you don't fall into temptation. This is not a time to sleep. This is not a time for you to rest. It's January. Before you know it, it will be December again, and that'll be a whole year going by that you have not done what you said you wanted to do this year. Whatever that is. Yes, before you know it, we'll be doing another New Year's ritual. If you don't get up right now and do as Christ was doing. While he was, now Jesus arrested, it said, while he was still speaking, a crowd came up, and the man who was called Judas, one of the 12, was leading them. He approached Jesus to kiss him, but Jesus asked him, Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss? So he let him know, I know you're betraying me. He had did that at the Last Supper too, right? He let him know. He was straight up. He didn't front. But he didn't fight and argue with him. And some of y'all got some betrayers in your life. And I know instantly when I said y'all got betrayers in your life, you thought I was talking about someone else, like somebody like in your family. No, I wasn't talking about them. I was talking about you. You're the betrayer. Judas represents the alter ego of Jesus. That false idea that maybe this is not what you should be doing. The doubt, the fear of the unknown. That's Judas. You're your own Judas, just like you're your own devil. You're your own Judas. When I preach these things, I'm not talking about getting y'all to start turning on your family and your friends and start looking at them like they're evil. No, I'm talking to y'all. It's you. You're the problem, not them. They're just players. And they're just out there. They're outside of you just doing whatever. They don't know what they're doing. Some of them might know, but the real betrayer is you because you believed in the false idea that you wasn't powerful enough. You were not good enough to make it happen. It's you. That's who Judas represents here. This whole disciples, all of them, even the ones that Jesus is trying to get up and pray, are his alter egos of self-doubt that he's talking to. He's only talking to himself. Get up. You get from the clue is this. The clue tells you that it's him alone. Right here. It says right here. Let's go back. When he rose from prayer and went back to the disciples, when he went back to the other ideas, the other mindsets of his own mind, the old mindsets. Because before Christ had to, he could even do what he did, he had to battle every one of his 12 alter egos. Yeah. Isn't that what you do during the day? Isn't that who you're talking to when you're talking to yourself? When you're trying to do something great and then oh man, I can't do this. This is too much. Why am I doing this? I could be watching TV. I could be just chilling. I could go to hang out with my friends who don't want to do nothing or don't have any aspirations like I do. Where's the battle? Who is it? Who are you battling? Who your apostles that you got? So he had to go around that clock until he became full circle, back to himself. Yeah. That's why it's 12, and then right in the middle is the Christ. Is you. 13. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. And when Jesus' followers saw what was going to happen, they said, Lord, should we strike with our swords? See, the ego is ready to fight. It's ready to kill. And one of them struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his right ear. Yes, which means that you will get in a situation where you're going to fight, you're going to blast out, you're going to yell, you might even get violent. Who knows? And but the higher self came in and said, but Jesus answered, no more of this. And he touched the man's ear and healed him. So this also means that once you offend someone, you must repair that offense. You must fix that. Fix it. So that you can move on to the higher levels of life. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to make you less of a man or woman if you just apologize and let it go. And that's the big problem with a lot of people right now. They don't want to they know they're wrong and they just simply don't want to apologize. They just want to be right. And they don't care. They don't care what relationships they damage, long as they didn't have to give up just a simple apology. That's just a side note. All right, keep going. And then Jesus said to the chief priests, the officers of the temple guard, and the elders who had come for him, am I leading a rebellion that you have come with swords and clubs? Every day I was with you in the temple courts, and you did not lay a hand on me, but this is your hour when darkness reigns. Now, this right here is the point I wanted to make. No matter how many good things you're going to do for people, how many things you're going to, miracles you might, how many people you'll heal or help, eventually people will not appreciate it and turn on you. Why? Because you represent progress. You represent doing better. And that means that because you're doing better and they're in your presence, they got to do better. They got to do something. Because they feel like in their heart that you showing them up. And you're not. You're just doing you. You just operating in your Christ consciousness. But when they're in their lower vibrations of their consciousness, they get jealous and hateful. So what do? They try to stamp it out, kill it, hang it, impale all of your good deeds, and discredit your character. Isn't that what you see around? That happens all the time. But as I said before, y'all think I'm talking about outside people. No. Everything you see outside of you, all the hate, is a representation of some form of hate you have for yourself that you must work on and get rid of. Some form of self-doubt. Yes. This is what this story represents. It's all about you working on all of the things that hinder you from being or having dominion over all things. Having dominion over your finances, your family, yourself. That's what this represents. And then we know the rest of the story. I could keep reading it. We know the rest of the story, how they seized him, put him on trial. Yes. And you put yourself on trial every day. Should I do it? Should I not? Is this worth it? Yes or no? You put yourself on trial with your family. You challenging them. You're looking at them all sideways because they're not doing what you think they should be doing. They're not conscious. Let me tell you something. And I had to really examine this for myself because I talk like that. I have talked like that. If you're running around here judging people, calling them unconscious, and doing all of that stuff, then maybe you have some consciousness issues yourself. Yeah. I had to come to that realization. So it's not my job to worry about who's conscious or unconscious. It's my job just to keep dealing with my 12 apostles, working on them, teaching them in those 12 aspects of my consciousness that I need to work on. That's it. If you spend your time working on that, you can't even see everybody else's problems. Because you realize you got a lot of demons in there running around your head that you gotta do battle with. So concentrate on that. And thus endeth the lesson. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. Okay. Topic of the conversation is the DS11. Why are they rejecting y'all applications? Why? Why are they? I mean, if you read these letters that they send, you'll see why. It tells you why. They basically tell you. I'm going to read one that I got. And by the way, no, I'm going to go through this and then I'll tell you to give y'all the announcement. Oh, I'll give y'all the announcement let me stop this screen. I'll give y'all after I go through this whole application. And let's see what the chat says first. Let's go. Let's find. I got to go to the beginning. Y'all, I'm chatting it up tonight. Karini, happy Tuesday. DJ B Thunder, evening, peace. Damon L. Bay, peace. Let me put y'all in highlights. Give y'all some moments of fame. Rugen, hi, peace, brother. Damon L. Bay, Yazzie L. Bay, Curtis Williams. Yazzie L. Bay again. Went to seminar in Las Vegas 29. Finally got my passport. Great. Yay. Good. Yep. See, he followed the instructions. He didn't let the distractors get him. I'm in the house. That's right, Mexican. You're in the house. Thanks for the support, my brother. Oh. Jay Gonzalez. This whole pandemic is ridiculous. Yeah. Let me just talk about that. Let's talk about that really quick. Let them have their pandemic. Let them have it. You know, people are getting sick, by the way. But if you keep your mind on the good stuff, you ain't got time to worry about what they're doing out there. Deal with your 12 apostles. Work on them. Okay? You got 3 years. Work on them. And this stuff that they're doing out there won't even bother you. People get hung up on the law without living principle. Yeah, true. Including yourself. I always point you back to yourself. Yeah, people this. We always good at people this, people that. They. No, it's me. Right here. Right here. Take these fingers and come right here. Square. This is who this is the issue. Right here. Right here. I'm the issue. This is where all my problems start and end. This is where all my prosperity start and keep going. Infinitely. This is why it's called the Church of Infinite Abundance. This is where all my great things, all the power, all of the good, all of the love starts right here. Okay? It's not people. It's not they. It's not he. It's not her. It's right here. Me, oh Lord. if I could save me. Because if you study the Christ example, if you know what went down, he didn't save the world. They crucified him. You're not going to save the world. The world is never going to be saved. As my mentor states, Reverend Ike, the world is never going to be saved. Only the individual will be saved by his actions, by his renewing of his mind. Only the individual can do that. Okay? So work on yourself, not people. Stop looking at people. Look at you. Good evening, Karini. That's Maxim. He's shouting out. Be the living word. I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's right. Preach that. Somebody wants to talk about politicians. Oh, man. It says, for what is a man profited if he... Oh, thanks for that. What is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his whole soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And then I think that scripture goes on if you don't have love, right? I know last week so much more. You got to have love. Yes, love is important, but love will motivate you to strive to have that wealth so that you can leave your children with plenty. When Abraham got the promise, created the trust, or God created the trust with Abraham, he bestowed wealth on generations, on him and generations to come. He said, your seed will be like the stars in the heaven. So, yes, his love for God got him that. So, ain't nothing wrong with having a lot. Okay? And the Bible has plenty of examples of people having a lot and being bestowed with a lot. Paul Bomb 74. Let's keep going. Joe J. Gonzalez, why don't you change the subject? Proper 12 here, brother. Yes. You know, someone said never got of the 12 disciples. I have never read that. But through studying and, listen to Reverend Ike and things like that, that's how I came to those conclusions. Divine inspiration. See, when you have divine inspiration, these things you just download into and you start speaking them. All right, let's get into the lesson here. Let's share this screen. That's enough with the chat. All right, let's see. Share screen. Chrome tab. DS11 PDF. I'm going to just leave this up because this is really... Okay, hang on. Let me make sure what I'm showing is right. So first, I'm going to read this one of these rejection letters, and I've seen a lot of these lately. And it says, thank you for your recent passport application. It appears from the facts of your birth and the documents you submitted that you are a U.S. citizen entitled to a U.S. passport. In accordance with the 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States as supreme law of our land. It cannot be waived by unilateral declaration except as otherwise provided by law. Now, we all know if you read this is trickery because nobody's a United States citizen, a U.S. citizen, born or naturalized in the United States. If I was born in New York, I wasn't born in the United States. I was born in New York. That's a country. Born in North Carolina. That's where I was born. So people get confused and they're talking about me. No, they're not. They're not. We all know why the 14th Amendment was created. Go read the story of Pitchfork Ben Tillman. It was to get you, disenfranchise you from your true nationality, and to trick you into believing that you're that. Okay? The statutes governing the issuance of U.S. passports require that a passport be issued only after applicant has completed an unaltered application and subscribed to it in a manner provided by regulations. So here's the clue. So whoever this got this letter altered the application. And what was it they altered? I know they altered something in the oath. You can't alter that oath. And altering it really changes the meaning. And if you alter it, then you're not a national. So they're kind of doing you a favor by telling you don't alter an unaltered application. See, they're telling you not to alter the application because the application is written in such a way that it guarantees you to be a national if you do what it instructs you to do. But no, everybody wants to listen to people tell you to do all these alterations. You have eyes, but you can't see. You have ears and you can't hear. Why? Because you're listening to someone outside of you tell you what the truth is instead of you reading that application for yourself. If you sat down and you did as Christ, as in the earlier lesson that I gave, went into prayer and meditation and really was earnest about understanding that application, you would have gotten the answer just like I did. You see, I was like a lot of you. I was listening to someone I thought knew what they were talking about. And then one day, it said, man, you better read that application for yourself. And I read it, and the answer popped at me right away. Right, it was there, right in my face. And I laughed. I actually literally laughed. Whoa, this was so simple. And I've read it over and over. I've read that oath. I've read the application to you over and over and open some of your eyes to see what it's actually telling you to do. And so, therefore, you cannot be issued a passport unless you submit an unaltered application. So the problem wasn't so much that they wanted him to look like a U.S. citizen. That's just fluff. They just wrote that. That's just something they wrote. The problem was they altered something in that application that didn't allow them to accept it. So that means that they came and got my process, because this letter is someone who I know bought the passport webinar, and then they went over and crept in some other space and listened to someone else. So they mixed and matched processes. And now they're getting this letter. Now the brother emails me and wanted an answer. He's emailed this on January 3rd. And I didn't answer him because you nitpicked. You wanted to buy the webinar and do it for yourself. And I broke a lot of this stuff down in the webinar. But because the letter don't look exactly like what the webinar shows, they get confused. Like I said, you got eyes and you can't see, and you got ears and you can't hear. But this letter is basically the same crap that they normally send. Now, upon receipt of this appropriate passport application, a U.S. passport will be issued stating that you are a U.S. citizen. And if you look at your passport, it don't state that. So that's a false statement. It never states that. It has your state you were born in and then USA. The country you were born in and USA. It has that in there. Okay? That's how the passports read. So where's it going to make a state it will issue stating that you are a U.S. citizen. They're making this is a false statement. This really is a false statement. And that's why these things are not signed by anybody. There's no one who signed this. It says sincerely customer service department. So the whole goddamn customer service department wrote this. Why? They don't put a name on here because then they'd be liable. Who said this? But you could take them to task on this. Y'all giving me false statements. Where on the passport does it say that I'm a U.S. citizen? Where? You won't find it. Your evidence of U.S. citizen has been retained by our office and will be returned to you once the application process is concluded. No additional execution fee will be charged if you return to the same acceptance facility where you initially applied. However, if you apply at a different acceptance facility, an additional execution fee must be paid directly to that acceptance facility. Also, additional information is requested. Your permanent residence was not provided on the application. Please provide your permanent street address and your signature below. So what you have is the matrix. The matrix has upgraded, and you're going to have to upgrade with it. Now, let's go to the application. Let's read that. So I could tell you what was altered. That's easy. Because usually when they say unaltered, the part that's altered is always in that oath. It says, in the oath, it says, I declare under penalty of perjury all of the following. 1, I am a citizen or non-citizen national of the United States and have not performed any of the acts listed under the acts and conditions on page 4 of the instructions of the application unless explanatory statements is attached. So, like I told y'all before, if you don't have an explanatory statements, you're a U.S. citizen. If you don't, or a non-citizen national of the United States, if you don't include that with your application, this is what this is saying. So, what's this teaching that they got going around? They have people line this national part out on here, but with the new application, you don't do not line outs anymore. So it don't even, that's not even with that theory, if you're doing that, it ain't gonna work. They probably use an old application too. So that did apply. Because I tell you, try to use the old ones, but I'm seeing increasingly more and more that those applications are not available. And in some cases, people have done exactly what I taught, but they kick it back saying it's altered. So that brings me to my announcement. So people were trying to get me to release different affidavits. If I've had affidavits, new ones, since about 2-3 years now, that I never released. Why? Because there was no need. But now is a need. So that means that the announcement is that I am doing a passport webinar 2. I will email out the date when I'm gonna do it. Now, if you're in my premium membership, you don't have to get on that. And here's why. Because you already got your passport. And you don't need that. Now, if you want to get on it, that's on you. If you want to pay the extra money and get on that, it's on you. But in my premium membership, if you're in it and you're listening, I would teach a abbreviated form in the membership, which I think I did already, on how to deal with this new application. But in the more comprehensive webinar, a new affidavit, which I had for about 3 years now, actually, 2 to 3, ready to rock and roll just in case this happened. You see? So I'll announce the date. It's going to be in about 2 to 3 weeks. I'll give y'all the date for that. And if you're not in this is mainly for people who are not in my membership and want to, figure it out, how to get things done. All right. So, and you can see the new acts and conditions. It doesn't look anything like the old one. So I'll be breaking this down. And actually, this application is actually, to me, easier to use than the first one. But when you are confused and you're listening to other people and you don't want to study for yourself, you get confused and you don't see through the game. You don't see the truth in these things. So basically, that letter that I read, they told him what he needed to do. They told him. They said, just come back, give me the same stuff all over. You already gave me an explanatory statement. They basically said that, and just do a new application. Now, me, I would submit my affidavit all over again, just in case, and submit the new application. That's basically, in a nutshell, how I would fix that. Because they tell you what you need to do. Now, they'll add fluff in here to throw you off. Oh, they're telling me I'm a U.S. citizen. Who told you? The whole customer service department told you that? Well, I could share this because it don't have a name on it or anything like that. So I'll share what this thing looks like really quick. Hang on. See if I could open it where. No, I can't because the way he shared like part of it. Oh, but anyway, it tells you what to do. It told you screwed up and you lined out something in that oath and they wanted, because that's the only time they talk about unaltered applications. All right. Let's go to StreamYard. Stop that screen. There it is in a nutshell. That's it. It's not hard. But the new webinar, a few weeks, you can join it if you want. I'll send that announcement out. And right after I send this out, guess you're gonna see people they're gonna copy, they're gonna paste, they're gonna, that's all right. That's all right. All right. Let's see what's going on Blog Talk Radio. Anybody on there want to I meant to tell you guys, if you want to talk to me, 563-999-3615, press 1 to speak to me. That'll let you in. And if no one's wanting to join, then I move on. I call it a night. It's, the days of 2-3 hour shows is over. People's attention spans are not as much. We used to do 3-hour shows, but that's not neat. I get to the point. Let me do something here. Let me put people. Somebody said this is why they need to fully authenticate BC. Okay, authenticating the BC is okay, but I don't see how it's significant when it comes to passport, because people get their passports with or without it. Authenticated birth certificates. Let's see. All right. All right. One thing I want to address. Someone sent me an email. Let me read this email. I'm going to read this email that I got. Yesterday, actually. Where is it? And after that, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to read this email. It says, "Greetings, Akeem. I just wanted to email you, express a statement. Some of the very folks that speak to you say you're the best. You're the best. My opinion, from what I'm hearing them say to you one thing, and the other side of their mouth say something different to someone else. I know it don't bother you, but they're phony. I hope I didn't dampen your night." No, you didn't dampen my night, but it's not good news. If so, I apologize. I respect you because I've learned a lot. And I'm not saying they're a spy, but anything is possible these days. Peace and pride. So someone's giving me a warning about people being, saying one thing and doing something else behind my back. I'm well aware of that. If you know anything about the Christ story, That's what happened, right? That's what happens, right? This is the nature of the business. People are having issue with speaking their true feelings. They can do it to other people, but they can't do it to you. And that what that shows is a level of respect and a level of cowardice. They're cowards. But that's them. They got to live with that. See, to go to these higher levels, you're going to meet these types of challenges. You will. People are going to come and pretend to be your friend, and they're not, with the fake praises. Didn't Judas do that to Christ? On the physical level, he went to him, kissed him on the cheek, right? Tried to kiss him. That's what people gonna come and try to kiss you. They're gonna try to hug you and, hey man, good to see you, and hate you or don't like you. Why? Why do people do that? Because they're their own Judas. They're their own hater. They hate themselves. To hate someone else, you have to hate yourself. To love someone else, you have to love yourself first. What you do to yourself, you will do to other people. So if you're around here hating yourself, you're going to hate everyone else. If you have love for yourself, you're going to love everyone else. So I appreciate, to a degree that you sent me this email. But at the other hand, keep that stuff to yourself. I don't need to hear all that. Because one thing I'm well aware of, that's what comes with the territory. I know people just do that. And all I say, this is what I say to those people that do that. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to you and your family. That's what I want to put out. Because that's what I want back. So there's no need, they hate us. They just fake and just talk like that. It's a waste of time, man. Because right then and there, you're being a Judas to yourself. You're betraying your true nature. You're betraying your higher self. So, brother, you hear it. What I would suggest you do, if you're in those conversations, challenge them. Hey, why don't y'all let's get Akeem on the phone and let's have this conversation with him. See how that goes. Or just simply say, hey, brother, if we can't say nothing good, let's not say anything at all. Don't participate in those conversations. Because for you to hear it, that means you participated. Okay? Did you check them? I don't know. You didn't say that in the email. Okay? Appreciate you, though. Hey, hey, listen, I am thankful for my supporters, my true supporters, and I'm thankful for the ones that are fake too. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. Because not only do my supporters support this channel and financially help me keep this thing going, the haters do it too. Why? Because they know they got good information over here. And that's all that matters, right? You can hate my ways. I got ways that a lot of people don't like too. Some of my ways my own wife don't even like. So, hey, who are you? I just laugh it off. So, anyway, let's see. Someone said, Azim Shabazz said, peace, I filed your insurance. I received my passport card with no problem. Wait on my certification. I called them, stated I'm on the waiting. Peace. Good. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Let's see. Anybody in Blog Talk with their hands up? No, they're not. All right. Well, thank you to all those that donated tonight to the show. My Cash App's up there. It takes money to keep all this going and do this. And I receive all donations with the utmost appreciation. keeps it going. All right. There's the Cash App. All right. With that being said, remember, deal with them 12 apostles. The 12 aspects of your consciousness, deal with them. Work on them so that you can move forward into the promise and fulfill that promise that's mentioned in Genesis. Go forth and have dominion over all things. And with that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.